A 2024 meeting is now called to order. We're going to have prayer by yours truly, and then Councilwoman Washington Eli is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? All right, will we all stand for prayer and pledge? Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you for this day that you have given us, that as we look around and we think about the recent storm that even had an impact on us here, but that for the most part we've been safe, and we acknowledge you for that. But we do pray for the individuals in Texas and other parts of the country who were in a direct path of peril, that they would be able to recover, that they would be able to build back their lives again. So we thank you for the strength and all the assistance that they need, and that communities will continue to come together to assist them in repairing their lives. Thank you for looking over now our agenda. It has been set, but we pray that even if we happen to disagree on something, that we would do it in a spirit in which we're not argumentative, but in a spirit that it will be one in which we can disagree but not be disagreeable. As the scripture says, let us do all things decently and in order. We pray that's the case tonight. In your son Jesus' name we ask these blessings. Amen. Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Let us stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman Washington Eli. Our next, before we get to that, let me read this. And we're excited to see all of you here tonight, and I think this is really, really good for us to do. But it says, please take a moment to silence your cell phones during this meeting. Addressing the council during the meeting, the City Council encourages public participation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. However, this time limit may be reduced if there are numerous speakers on a particular item. To ensure efficient proceedings, all persons addressing the City Council shall state their name and shall speak in a civil and courteous manner. Speakers shall address the agenda item topic only to which they are speaking on and shall not be repetitive. Members of the audience, please respect the rights of others and do not create noise or other disturbances so as to disrupt or disturb persons who are addressing the City Council, council members who are speaking, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. And again, thank you for adhering to those. Again, silence those cell phones for us, please. All right, next item on the agenda is reading and approval of the minutes from our most recent meeting, which was Monday, June 24, 2024.
Mayor, I so move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of June 24, 2024, and they be approved and adopted with no corrections.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any comment about this particular motion? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next, we have special recognition. As you notice, council and those who've been coming to the meeting, we'd like to each month recognize an employee in the city. And we have with us tonight Ms. Skylar White. So she's here. And I know Ms. Debbie Holden, who is our direct supervisor at the Utility Service Center, or the Annex as it's called, where you go pay your bill, right? But Debbie, is there anything you would like to say about Skylar? No pressure. Okay. All right. So being that Skylar has been recognized, we know that she is an outstanding employee. And, we just wanted to do this to make sure that those who are providing services, is really services to the residents of this great city, we want to make sure that they are recognized and give them some attention. So we're going to have Debbie and Skylar come forward. I don't know. Do we have I know Jennifer's not here.
I don't have.
They don't have anything? Okay. Well, I tell you what, we want to present you scholars, so it's all right not to come forward at this point, but we will arrange and set up a picture with you and get it on social media and all of that and have some negative swag, if you will, for you. So, but again, we do appreciate your service in the capacity that you are working on behalf of our residents, okay? All righty. Yeah. I think that's good. We see you, Scholar, but would you at least stand up so yeah, everybody see Scholar? Yeah, we see Scholar. Okay. All right. Awesome. Again, thank you. So we'll get that. We'll give us some more social media attention later on this week, okay? All right. Next item, we have a proclamation, and it's read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is proclamation number 056. Whereas the Louisiana Folklife Center was established at Northwestern State University in 1976 to identify, document, and present Louisiana's cultural and folk traditions and to provide public access to this material by means of the annual Natchitoches NSU Folk Festival. And whereas the festival has twice been selected as a travel treasure by AAA Southern Traveler, has been selected 3 times as a top 20 event by the Southeast Tourism Society, has received special recognition in 2006 from Lieutenant Governor Mitch Landrieu for promoting Louisiana's culture, and is well attended by Louisianians as well as by many from surrounding states. And whereas the festival will celebrate its 44th anniversary this year on July the 20th and will feature high-caliber Louisiana traditional artists in the visual and performing arts with 3 stages of music, the annual Louisiana State Fiddle Championship, Kid Fest, exhibits, Louisiana foods, narrative sessions, music and performances, and traditional material culture demonstrations. And whereas the festival provides opportunities for patrons to experience the rich variety of Louisiana's folk ways, validates Louisiana's traditional arts to a new generation, encourages young people to become involved in the arts by taking up tradition, and strengthens the community ties by highlighting traditional cultures. Now, therefore, I, Ronnie Williams, Jr., Mayor, and the Natchitoches City Council do hereby proclaim July 20th, 2024 as Natchitoches NSU Folk Festival Day in the city of Natchitoches, and invite all residents to participate in and enjoy all the festivities and cultures the festival has to offer. And I move for adoption of proclamation number 056.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Such a great event, great festival day. I've seen council members there participating. I mean, opportunities to shop, to eat, great culture. So it's one of those events that are really a part of who we are in the city of Natchitoches. So don't know if you all have any additional comment about this event.
It's got longevity, and it's a very fun event.
Well attended.
And I've been going to it since I was a little kid. Love it.
I actually cooked gumbo in one of the west wing of it at one of the first ones. Can't remember if it was the first one, but it was close. So it goes
Right.
back pretty good.
Been a good event. I imagine it's grown every year.
A
Giving
lot of
away
people
my age.
travel. A lot of people come in from Texas to it. A lot of people.
Yeah, and
They
some of
come
the
in and
food, the American Indian bread and that kind of thing, it's really interesting.
Yeah. So if y'all haven't been, go to it. It's a lot of good food, a
Lot
lot
of
of good
fun.
music.
And again, it's going to be July 20th, right? July 20th?
20th.
Okay. We do have, is it Dr.
I can never.
Munson?
pronounce
Rasmussen?
it. Rasmussen.
All right. Would you like to say anything in addition to what was stated?
Come to the
Yeah,
podium.
we'll have you come to the microphone to do it. And I know a lot of people say, hey, look, I'm loud enough, but it's really for our audience who may be at home watching live. So if you can state your first and last name
I'm Shane Rasmussen with the NSU. This is my first time, so I didn't know the protocol. I just want to say thank you to the esteemed council and to the honorable mayor. You know, you folks are what make the festival possible also, because it's the Natchitoches NSU Folk Festival. It's I think, a relationship between the community and the university, because we are all Natchitochans. I also want to thank the folks in Natchitoches that come out to the festival, because it's your festival. When you come out to the festival, you know, I was asked, when I applied for the job, they said, what would be success? And I said that the people from Natchitoches come to the festival and see their culture. And they said, that's it. Folks, this is your festival, this is your culture, your food, your music, come on out. And I also want to thank the folks that help so much, like the Natchitoches Historic District Development Commission, the Cane River National Heritage Area, and of course, the Natchitoches right downtown, that tourism bureau that does so much for us all. So, fork 'em demons, and thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Hey,
Don't
Doctor,
leave.
yeah, don't go too far.
We're gonna
We're gonna
take a
snap a
picture.
picture with you real quick, okay? All right, any other comment about the folk festival?
Only other comment, it's in air-conditioned Prather Coliseum, and it's a
Yes.
great event in July.
Okay. These ladies, you're part of the folk festival as well?
Well, these are some of the queens,
Okay,
including our Lady of the Bracelet. Could you introduce yourselves?
yeah, please.
I'm Miss Cane River, the current reigning of 2024, Jessie Foshi. Hey everybody, my name's Madison Sims and I'm Miss Northwestern Lady of the Bracelet 2024.
Awesome, great to have you here. And Jesse, I believe, just was very competitive in Miss Louisiana.
Yes.
All right, one of the finalists, right?
Yes, top 11.
Top 11, okay, so I think she deserves another round for that, all right, competing. So we're definitely proud of you and that accomplishment, and looking forward to seeing you all on the 20th, okay? All right, no additional comment. Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
Right, will y'all come for, motion carries. Will y'all come forward? We want to present the proclamation and snap a quick picture. And we're going to say this again later on as we do during our announcements, but do want to encourage, because I know people tend to leave after their agenda item is covered, want to encourage you to download the Go Natchitoches app, because we'll have events on there such as the Folk Festival and other events that we have going on in Natchitoches, all right? But again, thank you again. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, we have a few ordinances that are up for a vote tonight. The first one is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 014 of 2024, an ordinance declaring certain buildings unsafe and recommending that the same be demolished or put into repair to comply with the building code, authorizing notice to be served, fixing hearing date, and appointing curator to represent absentees. Whereas the Director of Planning and Zoning and City Building Inspector have filed written reports with the City Council declaring that certain buildings listed below are in dangerous and unsanitary condition, which makes them unsafe and endangering the public welfare, and recommending that the said buildings be demolished or put into repair to comply with the building code. The first two properties is located at 415 and 419 Martin Luther King. Owner is Natchitoches Parish School Board. Second property is 609 Jackson Drive. Owner Demetrius Thomas. 506 Hedges Street. owner Charles Wamber Sr., 1313 St. John Street, owner Dolphy Benjamin Sr. and Dolores Benjamin, 314 and 316 Duplex Street, owner Joyce McMillan, 41 Jean Marie Street, owner Brenda Smith, 1025 Pavy Street, James Clark, 931 3rd Street, J.B. White Properties LLC, 1312 Ash Street, Lotus and Irma Johnson, 436 Prather Street, Christopher Carter and Benny Holmes, 1221 St. John Street, Eleanor Westmoreland, and 324 East 3rd Street and 245 Carver Street, owner Joyce McMillan and Cindy Nora. Mayor, I so move to adopt ordinance number 014.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I will say these properties we looked at, and I thank council, we've had some emails back and forth. This is one that whenever you introduce and are condemning buildings and residences, residential property, it's a month, right, Chantrell? It lays over a month. You introduce it, then it's a month. It comes back. Yeah. Has anybody? Well, let me say this first. I do know there's been some emails with the school board. They've said they've since come since we have had this on the agenda with some documentation stating that they don't own either of the buildings
That's correct.
on the property. I think for some time we knew that they didn't own the old Head Start building itself, and it was thought that they did own the Title I building, but they've since communicated with us that both buildings are owned by the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education that we call Bessie, okay? So just wanted to kind of say that on the record, but since we introduced it one way, it was already introduced that way, all right? But has anybody come to you on any of these properties?
They did after the first introductory, and we explained to them that even though a property has been condemned, it doesn't automatically mean that a property will be demolished. The owner still has time to come in, pull a permit, do the necessary repairs. It's only after the property owner doesn't make a move to repair the building or bring it into city code compliance that we then move forward with the demolition. But it still takes another 60 days, 90 days before we even get to the point of actually demolishing the property.
Okay, so condemn doesn't mean demolish.
Correct.
All right. Council, is there anything you would like to say? Because we do have, I think a part of the reason people are here is because one or more of these buildings that are on the condemnation list. So know if y'all have a comment to make.
I do think we need to hold off on not moving forward with the condemnation on the property on MLK, only because we haven't noticed anybody who is supposed to be on. So if we've now received information that shows that allegedly Bessie does own it, and so Bessie hasn't received any due process whatsoever. So I don't feel comfortable voting just even to say condemn it and not move forward with anything. I don't feel comfortable even voting to condemn it because no one's received notice of it who actually owns it. So I think we need to proceed with it, of course. We just need to give them notice. I'd recommend giving them notice, giving them the State Department of Education notice, and giving the school board notice. Just do all three of them. As an attorney, notice everybody and let the chips fall as they may and figure it out from there and then move forward with that one. That's just, so I don't know if we need to.
That was part of my question was, can item number 1, the Natchitoches Parish School Board, stay on ordinance number 14? Or can we remove it from 14? Because it sort of taints.
Can we orally remove it and make a new
Can we vote
motion?
on it for condemnation for everybody else and remove them? Or do we need to redo ordinance number 14 and vote on it at the next council meeting?
I think to be safe.
Can you get the microphone,
Oh,
please, sir?
I think to be safe, the ordinance did list all properties and notice the public for all properties. Yeah, I would, if we could, bring this matter back or reintroduce it at the next meeting, I'm sorry, not reintroduce it, but this is for final passage. Remove those items from it and give the public notice for it.
Correct ownership.
So at our next meeting, so don't take any action on any of it this
No, we
week
can,
tonight?
I would say just table it for now.
Table.
But if anyone's here wants to speak.
Yeah, certainly.
Because they showed up and, don't make them waste their time.
Well, no, I see those Gopher shirts and everything, LNC. So I don't know if we have a representative. I think we do have a representative who wants to say
Now,
something.
did you say there were three property owners, Bessie Board, School Board, and who else? You said three?
Well, I think the school board does own some property
Somehow.
near the land still, like some land with no building on it, is what they're telling us. So Bessie's in there, the school board has something, but they're saying nothing with a building on it. And I think at some point, the parish government at least has some management obligations.
I think it's just
Convoluted.
safe to notice everybody,
Yeah.
Yep.
because I don't want it to get to a point where we get sued and
Yeah,
someone
for
did on
demolishing
something
Yeah.
and we didn't notice them and then whatever. Just
That's right.
notice everybody.
It's true.
Yeah, and Mr. Williams is here. Would you please state your first and last name?
Yes.
And Steve, 3 minutes. Thank you.
I'm Gwendolyn Williams. I'm currently the president of LNC, which is Lincoln Institute Natchitoches Parish Training School, Central High School, and Natchitoches Central High School. We have members from all of those institutions. And LNC wanted to petition the council not to demolish at this present time, because our values are education, diversity, and community. Central Area Trade School was established in 1956. The Louisiana State Board of Education was responsible for that building. The building was erected to educate veterans after the Korean conflict, give them a trade after they had fought in that war. After that, the preschool center for Natchitoches Parish School Board was used, that building was used for the preschool for Natchitoches Parish School Board. And finally, it became the Head Start Center, the MLK Head Start Center. It is a historical site for Black Americans in Natchitoches. We don't have anything to represent our side of town as history. This is historical Natchitoches. We would like to preserve our history. So we were asking at this time if you, and we see that it's going to be tabled, which is good because we are working on some information as to where we might be able to do something with that land or the building itself. Thank you very much. And we are here in few numbers tonight because it's Wednesday night, but we are here to support that particular ordinance.
Well, and I want to just ask everybody who support what Ms. Williams just said, will you, if you don't mind standing, who came in support with her tonight?
Great number. Glad to have so many of you out. I want to say, Ms. Williams, I agree with you that it is an historical building.
Thank you all.
I think at this time, probably, since there will be a delay in demolishing the building, we really don't want to see it demolished, but if it can be saved, and maybe we can do something to, I don't know, keep it from being vandalized anymore, make it more safe for people in that community. We may try to look at doing something along that line, too.
Right.
And we would be in support of anything that we can do to help secure the building. We would, be willing to help in any way that we can.
Right, no, and I thank you for making comments, and I appreciate those who came as well to stand in support of your remarks. And I will just say that maybe about 2 years ago, we thought there was a path where, a piece of legislation where the building could have been maybe donated to the city. It turns out that that wasn't what it was intended to do, to negotiate a sale. And the issue I had with that is it's such bad shape. I thought it would be a hard sale to the council to put some money up on it, given its condition. But yeah, the issue has been that it's just wide open. There have been about 3 fires, and you know, obviously we don't own. We can't spend taxpayer dollars on a piece of property we don't own. So I would say, yeah, if somebody, the hope is if Bessie would come and board it up, you know, and just, you know, that would be one thing. And we've conveyed that through email, but not in an official certified letter, you know, the condition of the building and so forth. So we've had some emails going back and forth. So again, that's just kind of our thinking is not a rush. And like Chantrell was saying, is condemn doesn't mean demolish. So it's not a rush to demolish it. It's just, on the other hand, it's just kind of wide open, and it's a public
It's not
safety
safe
hazard.
anymore.
And,
We need to put them on notice to do something.
yeah.
Well, and I've said it a lot of times, it's never the intent to tear buildings down, but when it gets to the point where it becomes unsafe, then when it ends up at the council, it's gone too far. And it's nice to see the public come in support of a building, and it gives us an opportunity to back up, rethink it. Maybe it's a blessing that it got pushed back and we can get to the right owner. Maybe Bessie will jump in and work with all the groups and get it back in business, and we can have a historic landmark.
Yes.
So we'll work towards it.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you. Are you speaking on? No, you want to go first? You go.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, so we made a motion to pass this, and it was seconded, right? So we still need to vote on that.
Table it.
Need to
Do we
table.
still
does
need to
that-
vote on, deny that, though?
There was a motion
Maybe
there.
deny, it depends on who wants to vote. And then make a motion to table it, or what? What's the,
It's a motion to table it, and second and vote.
well, I make a
I make-
motion to table ordinance 14 of
I
2024.
second.
All right, motion's been made to table. We do have a second as well. Sir, I think you have a comment on this agenda item?
Mr. Mayor, may I approach the podium?
Yes, sir. If it's about the condemnation, it's about the condemnations?
I didn't see any out there.
I'm sorry?
I said, I didn't see any copies of that out in front.
Well, yeah, so you can come in now if it's about the condemnation, any of the homes that are on the properties that are listed on the condemnation. Is your comment pertaining to that?
A comment on one of the agenda, number 04, something about all buildings.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
this-
Okay,
this is one.
that would be this one. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the right agenda item. Please, sir, state your first and last name and then get into your remarks.
Yes, sir. My name is Joe Taitano, and I moved down to Natchitoches after my second visit.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm trying to get Steve's attention. Yeah.
After my second visit down here, and I like the area. My wife liked the area, but my concern is this is the third time I've seen that agenda put out since I've been here about dilapidated building or unsafe building. So what is it? I've never seen anybody in my area or anywhere else that the dilapidated building are even repair or
Torn down?
Destroyed.
Destroyed? That's what you're trying to
So
say.
you're saying you've seen it on the agenda but haven't seen any buildings
Any work.
addressed, maybe? That's what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I live in an area and I see a lot of these buildings that are not occupied. The roof has got a hole on it as big as a truck, but Every time I read this, I say, okay, what's the city is doing here? I mean,
Chantrell, I think you could speak to that a little bit.
I need to know which properties he's talking about, because we have several ordinances where we've done condemnations for dilapidated properties. So I guess I need to know what areas are you speaking of, because every so often, we'll present a list of properties that need to be condemned. And then those properties, if the funds are available and the time has progressed, we will demo those structures. So do you have a specific address in mind?
And what I would say, Mr. Tatiano, after the meeting, perhaps you and Chantrell can engage. Yeah,
Because we don't,
I know of 2 houses right now that a gentleman is living in. And all it takes is 50-mile-an-hour wind, and that place where he's living in will be blown away. Another house that I spoke to the owner, and I'm willing to help him. The part of the house is, holes on the ceiling. And I'm sure the city or the parish would be able to look at this and say, hey, what can we do?
right. So, yeah, if you can't say after the meeting tonight, certainly, Chantrell, your landline, if you can let them know the landline to your office and.
He was in my office earlier today, sir. So,
Oh.
yeah, just come back and see me. You came in my office earlier today?
I don't think you heard.
My
Yeah,
other concern is.
She said you were in the office earlier today, so, yeah, I think you know where, you certainly know where the office is. So, yeah, engage with Chantrell either after the meeting today or a phone call so that she can at least identify the properties that you're talking about, okay? All right?
I got another issue. Can somebody guide me as to who to talk to about the community when they cut their grass, or the contractor that goes around and cut people's yard? And they cut the grass and they blow it out in the street.
We have an ordinance.
Can somebody tell me who I need to talk to make sure?
That's gonna be
that
Chantrell.
Same
As well.
Same place.
We do have an ordinance.
It might be a silly concern, but
Yeah.
I'm living in a community, I'm proud of the community.
Right.
We do have a city ordinance against, you're not supposed to blow the grass in the street, because then it gets in the
Storm
drainage,
drain.
storm drainage, and it clogs it up. So there's a city ordinance supposed to be blown back in the yards.
Where I live at, I stopped a gentleman down the street blowing the leaves and his grass into a drainage ditch.
Yeah.
My experience in 2014
Right.
was the city was flooded.
That's right.
Because of that, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's
The
going to be
drains
engaging
stopped
Chantrell.
up, yeah.
Again, thank you, sir. Really appreciate those concerns, and we want to take them seriously, all right? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
something Public Works can look at, cleaning the
Right.
drains.
You got something on that?
I'm sorry, which? Well, now, we're currently on ordinance number 014 of 2024. That's dealing with dilapidated, unsafe buildings. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what your remark is about?
He's on that, that's what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
you-
He's talking about it? Okay. Yes, sir. Steve?
How y'all doing today? My name is Lacumba Jackson. I live at 324 East 3rd. Y'all talking about tearing, demolition my property. I live there. And there's nothing wrong with my property. I don't have a leak. I don't have a sewage problem. And I want to know why.
Go ahead, Chantrell?
Are you the owner of it? It has someone else listed.
I'm the owner.
Which,
According to the
324.
tax assessor, it's our property. And I spoke to the lady who is the care of for the property, and she gave us permission to move forward with the demolition of the property. There has been several reports of criminal activities for both properties, and this has been going on for quite some time. As I told Mr. Jackson, I have to go by the name on the property, on the deed information that I have. But based upon the recent developments that's been happening at this property, there are issues that have to be addressed. And until those issues are addressed, then this property has been recommended for immediate demolition and condemnation because of the criminal activity.
What criminal activity?
There are several activity reports that have been shown, so if you want to talk with me
They
about
have
what
nothing
those
to do with
are,
me.
we do have a report. But again, Mr. Jackson, your name was not the one that's on the property list. Ms.
But
Joyce is who we've talked with.
That is my property. I own that through my will. Ain't no police been called on me or for nothing else on my property. Now, I had a tenant over there that was, whatever company he have, that's on him. I have no control of what kind of company you have coming in or buy your house. But for me, myself, no police have not been called on me.
Maybe not on you, but on your tenant, sir.
Okay, I own the whole premises, 245-2, Carver. There was no police or no activities going on that property. So why is my property being destroyed or dominated?
Now, this man Sidney Nora.
I pay my
at all.
taxes.
That's correct.
I just laid up here recently, reconnected my electricity wire all the way over, because the tree had fell all the way down. The storm knocked it down. I had to pay for that to live in my house. I moved back to Natchitoches to keep my family property. So it's nothing wrong with the property.
So it's air property.
It's our property, but it was willed to me.
And I don't have
And
that
it's not
information.
will.
I've only
It's will
talked to
to
Ms.
me and my
Joyce.
cousin. My cousin have passed. He do not have a will. I'm the only one with this will. And I'm the only one on this property.
Right.
And I take care of my property.
Right, look, and I appreciate you coming tonight. We actually, it's going to be a motion to table anyway, right?
Yeah, we have
So-
a motion to table it, so it won't move forward.
It won't
today.
move forward
This
tonight.
legislation will not move forward, but if you got a copy of your will and proof of ownership, once you provide that to us, and, and obviously,
Provided to who?
Well, it has to, we can't make the determination if your will is valid. We're not the court, we can't do that. So, I mean, you would have to, it's a civil matter with whoever says and is listed who owns it, and you, if you're arguing with it, we don't make that determination. We can't make that determination. So you would have to
But y'all
perfect
can
that
make a
will.
determination to tear it down?
Yes, yes.
But I pay my taxes every year
That's-
on it, and I take care of it.
That's-
I don't have no problem. No.
Is it Jackson? Is Jackson? Last name Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah, and like I said, kind of what I said earlier, just a few minutes ago, because of how this ordinance is written with, and how Councilman Harrington said, and I think others agree, that we need to notice, and now this is on a different property, we do have some additional time, so there's nothing happening immediate with your property right now, so it may give a little bit more time to
So what
kind of
is
work
that?
some of these things out that you're talking about, to kind of get to, not agreement, but, to figure out a path ahead. So I guess what I'm saying is, we have a little bit more time to talk about this away from the meeting to kind of work some of this out and get a better
So
understanding.
what do I need to do to save my property and my houses?
I think Alex was saying
Yeah.
something.
Before you leave, I'm gonna give you my number, and then we'll talk and see what ownership papers that you have regarding your property, and we'll move forward from there.
Okay, one more other question before I sit down. Before I leave, because I gotta go to work. What do I have to do to keep my property from being dominated or whatever y'all wanna call it?
It's,
So that's what I'm trying to understand that, because
nothing is, nothing.
I got a lot going on, man. I don't know if y'all know who I am.
It needs to get them people out of the property.
3 murders of my family. Ain't none one of them been solved. But y'all got time to tear down my house? Hey, pray God be with y'all. Y'all tear my house down.
And that sounds like a threat.
Yep. Okay. All right, so we got the motion and we got the second.
And that sounds like a threat.
Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes. Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next item is also for final, is read by Councilman Harrington.
This is ordinance 17 of 2024, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Louisiana, to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Natchitoches Community Alliance Foundation, doing business as Natchitoches Economic Development Alliance, NEDA, which said memorandum provides for services to be provided by the Natchitoches Economic Development Alliance, providing for a one-year term, providing for advertising, further providing for severability, and further providing for a repealer and an effective date of ordinance. This has been previously introduced, so I'm just going to read by title only. I move to adopt ordinance 17 of 2024.
I second.
Motion made and seconded. We had Laura here a couple weeks ago. She's here again, but I think she pretty much explained very well what this relationship, how it benefits the city of Natchitoches. So I don't know, Council, if you got any comments or questions on this. Any other comments or questions on this particular item? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is final, and it's read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 018 of 2024, ordinance authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Natchitoches and the Boys and Girls Club of Acadiana, whereby the Boys and Girls Club will operate within the Ben Johnson Auditorium, providing educational and recreational programming for a period of 3 years, providing for funding from the city for the Boys and Girls Club programming, and providing for other matters related thereto. This was introduced at the previous meeting, so I'll just move for adoption as well. So I move to adopt ordinance number 018.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I see Mr. Van Erickson here. He was very influential with the, helping with the, to bring back the Boys and Girls Club. They've been doing a great job. Van, do you have any comment you'd like to make?
Super quick.
Mm-hmm.
Van Erickson, talking about Boys and Girls Club. Council, Mayor, thank you for your support. We truly appreciate it. The last 3 years have been amazing. We've really gotten some great kids. Numbers are through the roof and improving each year. This money goes towards building our teen center, which is drastically needed for Natchitoches to help teenagers find a safe place after school to spend time and education. This also goes towards an outdoor classroom that's being erected, as well as a new threshold for the entry of the building. So we truly appreciate your support, and it's been great for our community. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Brian Ford, Council, you remember, and everybody else who were here, he gave a presentation about the work that they're doing. It's just fabulous work, and so grateful to have Boys and Girls Club operating again in the city of Natchitoches.
Yes.
Y'all got any other comments?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Doing a great job.
Excited for it.
Yeah.
All righty.
Very much.
Motion has been made already, second as well. Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right. Excuse me. That motion carries. This next item, we were going to put it on the table anyway. It's on the table, so we're just going to leave it on the table until our meeting on July 22nd. Really, what it is a, you could say miscommunication, if you will, but we want to allow those owners who are from Houston to come and really give us a progress report, let us know what they've been doing. So this will come again on the
I like the
July
photograph.
22nd. What's that?
I like the hurricane photograph.
Oh, yeah,
That's
in the
good.
background.
Nice
Yeah,
touch.
kind of going. All right, so we'll have it on the next meeting, okay? Now, we do have an ordinance for introduction, and it's read by Councilman Harrington.
This is ordinance 19 of 2024, an ordinance approving a cooperative endeavor agreement and indemnification defense and hold harmless agreement with the Cane River Waterway District and the Cane River National Heritage Area to provide for the development and construction of improvements on the Mill Street District Riverbank, authorizing the mayor, Ronnie Williams Jr., to execute the cooperative endeavor agreement on behalf of the city of Natchitoches. And whereas the city of Natchitoches desires to develop and improve the riverbank adjacent to Mill Street District, which is located on the right descending bank of Cane River Lake between Mill Street and Cane River Lake. And whereas further, the city has developed a plan for the improvement and development of the riverbank adjacent to the Mill Street District, which is located on the right descending bank. And whereas further, the city and the district, which is Cane River Waterway District, are mutually desirous of developing and improving the Mill Street Riverbank in order to provide access to Cane River Lake to increase recreational opportunities for the citizens of the city and parish of Natchitoches, Louisiana, and developing and promoting Cane River Lake for tourism. And whereas further, the city has requested that the district assist the city and project manager, Cane River National Heritage Area, with a project through funding the cost of plans and construction costs of the project. And whereas further, being of the opinion that its participation in the project will benefit Cane River Lake and the public who utilize Cane River Lake, the Cane River Waterway District, the Cane River Waterway District has agreed to contribute up to the sum of $350,000 towards the cost of the overall project. And it's for introduction only, so I'll leave it open.
Ms. Rebecca, you want to come and say something?
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Rebecca Blankenbaker. I'm the Executive Director of Cane River National Heritage Area. We are here representing all three partners on this project, and as well as the stakeholders of South Williams Avenue. I appreciate the opportunity to make remarks on this revised ordinance for a cooperative endeavor agreement. This revision reflects early conversations with the neighborhood and the stakeholders regarding the initial project and scope. This new project scope focuses on 3 main components: securing the riverbank, constructing a seawall, and enhancing the area with strategic landscaping. These elements are not merely aesthetic improvements, they are necessary measures to protect the integrity of the riverbank, as well as the well-being of the residents, and particularly those that live on South Williams Avenue. The seawall and stabilization efforts will provide much-needed security against the erosion, while the landscaping will serve as a natural sound and light barrier, creating a more serene and protected environment. I urge you to reconsider this revised scope, and in doing so, this cooperative endeavor agreement will allow us, as the project manager, to initiate planning that will include community feedback and listening sessions so that we ensure as we move forward with this project, all stakeholders' voices are heard in this process. This approval of this ordinance will mark the beginning of a comprehensive plan, preserve our natural resources, and protect the infrastructure of our river. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
The question was, what are the revisions?
It scales back the scope of the project. Initially, the project was funding up to $500,000 and included boat and pedestrian access. This really just focuses on safety and securing the riverbank at this time.
Yeah, with a big focus on safety. I think people are aware of some of the recent events that have taken, I say recent, more than a year ago, taken place. So this is just being introduced, so we are certainly going to have this on the agenda on the 22nd. We'll allow public comment, but I wanted Rebecca to come and she's been very involved with this project. I think it's a good project. Again, as you said, the focus now being on safety. Council, don't know if you have anything to say at this particular time?
I do.
All right.
Rebecca, thank you.
Thank you.
for
It's
coming.
important to us as a community's partner and stakeholder that we hear everyone's voices and we include their voices as we continue to move this project forward. And so we're committed to that.
And you've been great about that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, July 22nd is when this will appear for a final vote, okay? All right, and those who, whatever comment they may have, can certainly voice their concern at the July 22nd meeting. All right, we have several resolutions tonight. The first one is read by Councilwoman Washington.
Oh, Bill Townsend.
Yes, sir, Ms. Townsend.
May I say a word? And I promise you, it's not the 8 pages of word that's here. This is just the cooperative endeavor agreement. But I just want to thank Rebecca for having.
State your first and last name, please, sir.
Sir.
State your first and last name just for the.
Bill Townsend, 118 South Williams Avenue. I apologize. But I want to thank Rebecca for having met with us, and time flies, maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago, hearing our concern. I have spoken to her this week, and I want to thank her for her commitment going forward to continue the dialogue, continue the discussions as it relates to any details. And I get it as to what she has explained as to the scope of the CEA, the Cooperative Endeavor Agreement. My question, very respectfully and very politely to the mayor and members of the council, is separate and apart from the CEA, which involves 3 entities. Does the city have any plans for additional things to occur between Mill Street and the riverbank?
Well, probably will in the future, I'm sure. Other developments probably along that way.
And my question is specific. I know the Mill Street district and the conceptual stuff because.
The riverbank you're talking about.
The riverbank.
Yes, I'm talking about between Bank and Mill Street.
There's nothing
As
that
far as I know, yeah, no,
Thank you.
nothing for
Only
that
question I
purpose,
had.
yeah.
I promised you I wouldn't read 8 pages.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All righty, Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mayor.
Ms. Townsend. Mhm.
Resolution number 057 of 2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a certification of substantial completion of the contract between the City of Natchitoches and the Regional Construction for the 2023 Street Rehabilitation Program. Whereas the City of Natchitoches has contracted regional construction for the 2023 Street Rehabilitation Program, and whereas the work has been completed, and whereas the substantial completion inspection has been performed by the city engineer and found projects to be completed, now there be resolved by the city and the city council and legal session convened that the Honorable Ronnie Williams Jr. Mayor being hereby authorized and power and direct to execute the refurbishment certification substantial completion for the regional construction. And this for adoption, resolution number 057 of 2024.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. This is standard procedure here at the end of a project, and this project is complete. This was Carver Avenue, West 3rd, Fairgrounds. May have been, I think that was the 3. Was that the 3, Ed? Was there any more?
No, I think it
Yeah.
was only a 3-street project.
Yeah, so those are the streets that were rehabbed. We are looking at some streets for a smaller budget this year, as we are trying to focus more on replacing some of these water lines. So, and that's a gargantuan task, but don't know if you have any comment, council? Okay, any other comment? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacey, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is read by Councilwoman At-Large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is resolution number 058 of 2024, which is a resolution appointing the city attorney and assistant city attorneys for the city of Natchitoches. Be it resolved that the city council does hereby take cognizance that Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. has reappointed Alex Washington as city attorney for the city of Natchitoches in accordance with section 4.02 of the Home Rule Charter. And be it further resolved that the city council does hereby authorize the reappointments of 5 assistant district. It's got 4 here, but number 5 written out, so say 4 assistant city attorneys. And upon the recommendation of the city attorney and the mayor, that Daniel T. Murchison Jr., Claude Benjamin Jr., Gary Conley, and Steve Oxenhandler are hereby confirmed and approved as assistant city attorneys to serve in accordance with the provisions of section 4.02C of the Home Rule Charter. It is further resolved that the city council does hereby confirm the said reappointments. And I move for approval of 058
Second.
resolution.
Motion made and seconded to approve, and I don't know if Alex has any additional comment, but I would just say that the attorneys we have, they do a good job at meeting our need. You've got, whether Alex knows the bond attorney stuff, and Murchison knows about real estate and land and all those questions, and Gary, he's able to fill in the gap and things like that. Cloyd as well. Stephen Oxenhandler with and people may not know him, but that's our employment, kind of like your HR stuff. So, yeah, Alex, you got an additional comment?
Well, I just want to add, last year we had Jonathan Blake as an assistant. He still have one case that he's working on, so we will continue on him as special counsel just to complete that case.
Okay.
So that would make the 5, okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any additional comment, counsel? Any other comment? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Petey.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is read by Councilman Petey.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 059 of 2024, a resolution appointing members to the City Planning Commission for the City of Natchitoches. Whereas the mayor of the City of Natchitoches has submitted the following names for appointment to the Natchitoches City Planning Commission: Charles Whitehead III, Reverend Bobby Claiborne, Michael Lewis, Ricky McAllister, Walter Johnson, Isaac Lewis, Alexa Conde, Anita Dubois, and Sadie Sawyer. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Natchitoches that they hereby acknowledge the appointment of the above individuals to the City Planning Commission and hereby approve and consent to same. May I so move to adopt resolution number 059.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any individual, and I know Councilman Harrington, Councilman Nielsen have served on P&Z before. It's, you do it on a volunteer basis. And so we certainly appreciate people who are willing to continue to help to make these decisions about our community. Chantrell, any other thing you want to add to this? Or?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Any comment, council?
I think we have one appointee. Do we have any appointees in the audience? See
I don't know if Miss Sawyer's here.
Anybody else? Yeah, she's
Miss
here.
Sawyer, you want to stand for us so we can at least see you? Yeah, this is Miss Sadie Sawyer.
Newly appointed to the
And happy that she
board.
has agreed to serve on this commission. Now, I didn't ask necessarily folks to come, so that's why, I figured they already volunteering their time, but I'm certainly glad. Ms. Sawyer has been coming to the city council meeting lately anyway, but we're grateful for her and grateful for her service. Yeah. But a good point, Councilwoman Deloy Smith. All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries as well. Next item is read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 60 of 2024 is a resolution reappointing Henry Kinberger as a member of the Natchitoches Fire and Police Civil Service Board, whereas the term of office of Mr. Henry Kinberger as the college list board member of the Natchitoches Municipal Fire and Police Civil Service Board expired May 8, 2024, and whereas the Natchitoches City Council wishes to reappoint Henry Kinberger as the college list board member on the Fire and Police Civil Service Board, and whereas this appointment is for a 3-year term beginning May 8, 2024 and expiring May 8, 2027, now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Natchitoches does, in a legal session convened, hereby appoint Henry Kinberger as member of the Natchitoches Municipal Fire and Police Civil Service Board for the City of Natchitoches. And I move to adopt resolution number 60 of 2024.
I don't know, he's been on the board for years. I think he's been from what I hear from folks, a good member. How this works is that you college board lists. So what happens is the university president submits to the mayor 4 names, and from the 4 names, I pick 2. So you see that, and it's the same scenario with resolution number 62. Okay, so, but anyhow.
Is he here?
No, I don't think. Again, I didn't ask any of them come tonight, but yeah, Mr. Kimberger, again, has served for years, and I think he's been a good member to the board. Any comment? Seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next item is read by Councilman Harrington.
Resolution 61 of 2024, a resolution appointing Claire Primus to fill the unexpired term of Gary W. as a member of the Board of Directors of the Industrial Development Board of the City of Natchitoches. And whereas the City of Natchitoches, in its endeavors to promote and attract industry, organize the Industrial Development Board of the City of Natchitoches. And whereas the Natchitoches City Council affirmed the appointment of the members of the Board of Directors of the IDB by Resolution 16 of 2012, adopted on April 23rd, 2012, and fixed the term of the directors of the IDB by Resolution 63 of 2014. And whereas due to Gary W.'s resignation from the IDB, there exists a vacancy on such board. And whereas the Natchitoches City Council wishes to appoint Claire Primus as a member of the Board of Directors of the Industrial Development Board of the City of Natchitoches, whereas this term is to expire on April 23rd, 2018. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Natchitoches does in legal session convene hereby appoint Claire Primus to fill the unexpired term of Gary W. as a member of the Board of Directors of the Industrial Development Board of the City of Natchitoches for the remainder of the term ending April 23rd,
2028.
2028, you said
2028.
28.
There's a typo there,
Yeah,
so.
typo.
I move to adopt Resolution 61 of 2024 with correction of the typo.
Second.
All right, motion is made and seconded.
3
Industrial,
seconds.
we got 3 seconds?
3 seconds.
So, look, this is one of those boards that doesn't have a regular meeting, just as needed. You think of, I think probably the hotel is one that stands out, but more recently, the depot, they met to approve some things so the city can get financing for that project. So you're a business-minded person on that board, and again, I think Claire Primus is great. Any comments about this particular resolution? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is read by Councilwoman Washington Eli. That's you.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 062 of 2024, resolution appointing J. Ruiz as the member of the Natchitoches Fire and Police Civil Service Board, whereas the Northwestern State University has submitted a list of nominees for the Fire and Police Civil Service Board, and whereas the City of Natchitoches Councilman wish to appoint J. Ruiz of the college list board member of the Fire and Police Civil Service Board. Now there be resolved that the City Council of Natchitoches and the Natchitoches does legal session convene hereby appoint J. Ruiz as the member of the Natchitoches Municipal Fire and Police Civil Service Board for the City of Natchitoches, and I move to adopt resolution number 062 of 2024.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Y'all, this one is just like resolution number 6 that Councilman Nielsen read. University president submits 4 names. I picked 2 to serve on the Civil Service Board to make decisions regarding, particularly police and fire, to call for the test. Maybe there's a disciplinary matter that needs their vote, needs their attention. So things dealing with your civil service. Any comment about this? And I think I sent you all a synopsis on most of the appointments. I think I left Claire off, but I think y'all know Claire too. So, but yeah, Pastor West is a employee, I think, in management at DOTD on the maintenance side. He's pastor at First Baptist North Street. So he's a member of the community, lives in the city of Natchitoches. So he's a father, husband. All right. Any comment? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is read by Councilwoman Delores Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is resolution number 063 of 2024, a resolution designating Friday, July the 5th, 2024 as an official holiday for the employees of the City of Natchitoches for the year 2024. Whereas Governor Jeff Landry signed a proclamation on June the 24th declaring Friday, July the 5th, 2024 as a legal state holiday in the state of Louisiana and shall be observed as a day of public rest. And whereas the mayor and the city council of the City of Natchitoches appreciate the hard work the city employees and the city council ratifies the action of the administration to recognize July 5th, 2024 as a legal holiday. And whereas to show appreciation for the dedicated efforts of our city employees, the mayor and the Natchitoches City Council wish to declare Friday, July the 5th, 2024 as an official city holiday for 2024. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr. that Friday, July 5th, 2024 be declared official holidays for the City of Natchitoches employees. And I move for adoption of resolution number 63 of 2024.
That's 3 seconds.
Motion made, motion seconded. This is, I guess, a little bit cleanup, if you will.
Cleanup.
Alex, you got anything you want to say about this, or this is the July 5th, giving it to the employees?
No, I think we're clear about what took place.
Okay. All right, any comment?
Driving around on the streets Friday, it was pretty quiet.
Yes,
I
sir.
think we did the right thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great.
All right. Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is Resolution 64 of 2024, read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been waiting on this one since Monday. Resolution number 64, 2024, resolution of the City of Natchitoches authorizing provision of local match funding to Rapides Area Planning Commission for FTA Section 5311, whereas the U.S. Department of Transportation is authorized to make grants to states through Federal Transit Administration to support capital operating assistance projects for non-urbanized public transportation systems under Section 5311 of Federal Transit Act, and whereas the Rapides Area Planning Commission, RAPC, requests local matching funds to support the continued provisions of rural transit service for the general public in the City of Natchitoches, and whereas the contract for Section 5311 financial assistance includes the provision by it of the local share of project costs, and whereas it is the goal of the applicant to provide the best transit system that can be provided with the funds available, and whereas the mayor is authorized to execute grant agreements on behalf of the City of Natchitoches with the Rapides Area Planning Commission for aid in the financing of Section 5311 assistance, and now therefore be it resolved that the Natchitoches City Council does hereby authorize the mayor to provide requested local matching funds to aid in the financing of Section 5311 federal financial assistance and executive agreements with the Rapides Area Planning Commission for capital operating assistance projects pursuant to Section 5311 of the Federal Transit Act as amended, and be it further resolved that the mayor and/or his designee is authorized to approve the request for local matching funds from RAPC for Section 5311 projects. And normally I would move to make a motion, and I'm going to yield to my colleagues.
Okay, thank you.
As we move into discussion.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. This has come before us before. I think certain documents were presented. And I'm just meeting you, sir. Jonathan had been our primary person of contact. Of course, we know Gracie. We know Nick as well. Nick has been here. But you're going to come and you'll state your first and last name.
Sorry. Matt Johns with the Rapides Area Planning Commission. Mayor, Council, thank you guys. I'll take just a moment. I'll try to be less than the 3 minutes allocated. We do have some folks that use the program that do want to participate and give you a little bit of their feedback. But just to let you guys know, the pilot program became operational in May of 2023 to serve citizens without access to reliable transportation. In the first year, the program was completely funded through our agency as the operator through money from the Department of Transportation and Development. And upon conclusion of that pilot, which will be in about a month or so, local matching funds have to be allocated in order for us to keep it operational, meaning that we have to get half of the money to operate this from local participants, and that part of that would be from the city of Natchitoches, not all of it, thankfully. The following statistics were attached to kind of give you guys an idea of what was going on. So out of about 2,000 trips that were provided in a year from May 2023 to May 2024, 63% or 77 of those passengers came from the city of Natchitoches. They accounted for 708 of the trips that were provided. Many of the riders become regular users of the service, creating repeat trips for a single passenger. So, for example, several passengers use the buses to repeat medical treatments such as dialysis. About 38% of the trips were for medical reasons, another 35% for groceries and errands, 21% for employment, which was a shocker to me when we started the program, 5% for education, and 1% for other. The total program budget for the next year to keep everything running for the entirety of Natchitoches Parish, including the city, is $81,000. What we had asked for you guys and the other participants was $40,500 apiece to try to keep it operational at the same level. I will tell you that we will do everything that we can in our power to make the program more efficient. That includes buying better vans that are smaller, that can handle longer trips with less gas, trying to be more efficient for where we place our vehicles. And then also becoming a partner with Medicaid, and the money that we make from the funds from Medicaid will help offset and reduce the local match needed from you guys in the future. So this will be something where we have to come ask you every year, and it's on us to show you the true benefit of that program. So I'm hoping that the statistics did that, but we also have some folks here to talk about it more if you would allow the time.
Yeah, however you want to introduce them. Give me Matt Johns. Yeah, however you want to bring them up, you could do it. Now, obviously, we don't want to just be redundant, but I'm sure people use the service for different reasons, so we certainly want to hear that. You got it. Yeah, so however you want to.
Daryl, who do you recommend? Yes, ma'am, that's the request. I mean, if they wanted to put up the full $81,000, we would appreciate it to keep it operational, but we're trying to seek other partners for it.
And look, and we want to get you, Ms. Lindsay, we want to get you to come to the microphone.
Or do we have the microphone to bring to them?
Got a handheld?
Yeah, have a hand, yeah.
Or with a camera? I don't know how your camera would do
Trying to
on
get
that.
there.
Some might not be able to.
She got it.
Okay, yeah, so we got you. Ms. Lindsay, just state your first and last name, and then you can get into whatever remarks you have.
Carolyn G. Lindsay. I'm here on behalf of Rapides Transit. We use it all the time. I have a friend who is a widower. He doesn't have very much money. His old car doesn't run. It's a 2000 vehicle. They take him to dialysis on Tuesdays and Thursdays and bring him home. It only costs $4. I can't, per trip, I can't drive my car over to his house and take him to dialysis and come pick him up after it's over with. He has to stay there for 4 hours. This is a desperate need. I'm not the only person that needs this transportation, but I would ask you to take this into your heart and see if you can't come up with the money, because it is so vital and needed in this Louisiana, Natchitoches.
Thank you for being here tonight, Ms. Lindsay.
Appreciate your comment.
Right.
And I know there is a need for this transportation, really is. A lot of people are using it. I have a list of some names I was given. I've contacted some of them on the list, and they have spoken very highly of this transportation. Do we have anybody else here to speak?
Yeah, this is Ms. Kenyatta Jackson.
Okay.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you did not.
You
Okay.
should be very familiar with me.
Okay.
I pop up almost everywhere you are, but I'm not stalking you. I just have a lot of kids, and you
Hey,
be at all the kids'
And
events.
before you get your remarks, will you state your first and last?
My
And then
name is
Steve's gonna give you 3
Kenyatta
minutes.
Jackson. I'm an implant. I'm originally from Letcher, Louisiana. I came to Natchitoches in 2004 as an NSU student. I'm now an NSU alumnus and employee. In December, my car went down. And after a while, my friends didn't want to take me. I couldn't get to work on time. I'm a state employee, so it didn't put my job in complete jeopardy, but we all know tardiness starts to wear on your boss if you keep coming late. The RAPC transportation got me to work on time. They picked me up from my house, they got me to work on time, they picked me up in the afternoon. Sometimes I paid the little extra money to get my children from the Boys and Girls Club. Y'all, before I came in here, I checked the Uber app. As you all, if anyone else has ever tried, you're not gonna get an Uber ride. They don't have drivers in Natchitoches. I've tried to be a driver in Natchitoches. No one wants to ride Uber and nobody wants to drive Uber. $13. That's how much it would have cost me to leave this meeting today and go home. It would have cost me $13 for one trip. I'm from Louisiana, baby. I don't have $13 to go one way for that company. If I were to take a friend, $5 is no longer gas money to my friends. And these are people I have loved and cared for, ridden in my cars. I have taken people to church. I have taken people to drill. I've taken people to Shreveport when I had a car. When my car broke down, it was between me and God. So there's a lot of people in Natchitoches who wants to see Natchitoches thrive. Again, I'm an implant. I'm not from here. I've done the Natchitoches Leadership Program. I've graduated from NSU. I show up to the school board meetings from time to time. I show up to the city council meetings from time to time. I harass y'all on Facebook. Don't block me. Don't block me. And Miss Eli, I want your Facebook, baby. But this transportation is so important to so many people. I used to ride with my children, and there was a man that rode in the morning. I just found out that's Miss Ethleen's husband. Me and her worked at Walmart. I've worked at Walmart, I've worked at Alliance, I've worked all over. I've been here 20 years. And without public transportation, this city will not move forward. The only way I could see y'all and approve of y'all getting rid of this transportation, which currently I don't because we have some great drivers and some caring people, would be if you immediately had someone to take it over to start a new transportation program. You can't give us the meat and bread that we need and then take it away. You can't give us the transportation we need and then throw it away over $40,000. That's tickets. Yeah, I know we don't like the cops. I love the cops. The cops have always, in Natchitoches, been great to me. But we could find a way to make that money for our people and for our city.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Appreciate your comments. Next I've got, can I do my little list? Wait, hold on. Can I get Ms. Tabitha Lee next?
Who is it?
Is that you, Ms. Tabitha Lee?
Good evening. To the mayor and the council. My name is Tabitha Lee. I reside over on Fairgrounds Road, and I need transportation. Rapids transportation has been essential in getting me to the grocery store and running errands, and just doing the things, the everyday things that you need to do. So I would ask the council and the mayor to please consider, approving this matching grant, because it is a matching grant. So anything that you could do would be greatly appreciated, because it is needed. We don't have a taxi service or anything like that, or like the lady said, we don't have Uber or anything like that. So, and that would be cost inhibitive as well. So we just ask that you do this for us. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for coming tonight. Next on my list, and I know there's some others who want to say something that might be different. I mean, obviously, we know, again, it's transportation, but it might be a different reason why you use it. But I do have Joanne Stump. Do we have Joanne Stump
I
here?
think she's trying to come to the podium.
Okay, all right, come. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Hi, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I've only been a member of this community for a little over a year. Born and raised in Ohio, so coming down here was a little bit of a culture shock, but oh my God, I love it down here. First year, no snow. You don't know what that was like for me. As you can see, I'm partially paralyzed in a wheelchair. I have no car, no family down here whatsoever. And if it was not for this program, I don't know what I would do. They take me to all my doctor's appointments. They take me to Walmart to get my groceries, to the bank to get my money order to pay my rent every month, prescriptions. Daryl knows me by name when my phone number pops up. I don't think you realize how many people depend on this every single day. And if this program goes away, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't walk. Like I said, I've got so many medical problems. I've had 2 heart attacks, a mini stroke, DVD blood clots. I'm going to end up in this wheelchair probably permanently within the next few months. And if this program goes away, there's no other way for me to get to my appointments and to get to the doctors and to get to the grocery store. And I don't know what to do. There's nothing wheelchair accessible in this town to transport me except for these guys. And I love them to pieces, and we really, really do need this. And thank you for letting me address you guys.
No, thank you, Ms. Joanne, for being here to address us. Okay?
Well, since I'm here, my name is Connie White. I'm a resident here in Natchitoches. I've been here over 25 years. I am visually impaired. I use this transportation every day, Monday through Friday. I've had to work at the Front Street Inn. I'm in the Church Street Inn Hotel. I've been there over 17 years. If it didn't have this transportation, I wouldn't get to work. So they pick me up every day, take me home. I can't drive either. I've never been able to drive. So this is my way home. I'm trying to make a living. I work every day, pay my taxes. And this transportation is a heaven sent. We need this in Natchitoches. And, I've met so many people on this van. The van is always clean. People are just nice, inviting. The drivers are just heaven sent. Real nice people, do anything. They're always talking about the people that ride with them. They try to help. And that's what we need in Natchitoches. I've never been able to drive, ever, in my life. So just knowing that I have this definite way home is such a relief on me, because I used to have to sit around for hours trying to get home when I done got off of work at 11 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'm going home at 2 and 1 and 12 because I have to wait on a ride. Or, people are busy. And I have family, yes, but people all have jobs. So around 11 o'clock, it's nobody available. Everybody's at work. So I just thank God for that transportation. I know it's going to be a great addition to Natchitoches. It's so many people I've met, students, I've met, veterans, I've met people that are using this transportation, and it's really, big help to everybody. So I appreciate y'all listening to me.
Thank you, Ms. White. Thank you. All righty. All right, I know you were getting up, ma'am. Just state your first and last name for the record.
My name is Ethelene Conde. My husband of 53 and a half years Stayed in the hospital for 4.5 months and came home totally paralyzed from the waist down. Before contacting the transit pilot program, I contacted every agency I could, trying to find transportation to and from dialysis for my husband. He has been on dialysis more than 12.5 years. I have a car, but I'm not able to get him in and out of the car. He needs handicap accessible transportation. Now, we're talking about a man that has worked and retired working in this town. He retired after 33.5 years of working for your Natchitoches Parish Police Jury. Since 2003, was a very dedicated and faithful employee. I have worked in this city for 46.5 years, just retired in the last 5 years, and we have never qualified for any free services. We've always was just over the mark where we never qualified for anything free. We are very independent people. We've always tried to do our best to be independent. This was very difficult to me. We have insurance. He has insurance through his retirement program. They pay for 12 medical transport visits for him a year. He goes to dialysis 3 times a week. And this service has been a lifeline for my husband. I had no way of getting him to and from dialysis until my sister gave me a flyer about this rule. I tried everything locally I could. Nobody could help me. And I want you to know, for me, this is personal, and it hurts deep. That for as little as $40,000, this service could not be. Please, take into consideration people like me who have paid taxes in this town, lived in this town, worked in this city, and never asked for nothing. Please, have a heart. I'm praying that you would have empathy for those of us that are really in need. Had we been Medicaid qualified, everything is free. You can get to go anywhere you want free. But when you're not Medicaid, you have nowhere to turn. And I pray that the Lord would lay it on your hearts to have compassion and empathy for those of us that are truly in need.
We really appreciate everybody giving their, speaking and giving their testimony. Council, give you an opportunity if there's anything you would like to say.
Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate your testimony, and this young lady, she been in my inbox. I'm one of the ones, she been advocating for the program, and I most definitely support it, and I recognize that it's really a need. You know, I didn't see it at first. I was concerned about the usage, but also in talking to Ms. Gracie, she was able to show me the data and how it's actually trending up. You have more people using the service. And I think once we kind of get the advertising out, I know like it's kind of like just starting the program, so you don't have the advertising dollars. But once we start advertising, it'll really, take off. So I most definitely stand for an agreement with it.
Yeah, very much needed. And also, I would like to say, I'm hoping we can get a hub here of someone local here that can drive the van. That's what I would like to see you all work on. I think when we met, Ms. Laura, myself, and Steve, I think is his name, we spoke about that. So I'm hoping we can look at trying to work together to try to find a local driver here that's able to pick up the people here and to transport them to where they need. So is that something we can count on you all to look at doing?
Yes.
Promise me? Pinky finger? Okay.
Any additional comment from council?
And we know there's clearly a need, and it wasn't this was previously denied unanimously by the council, and it wasn't because we were like, we need to get rid of this program at the time, and all the individuals who were here, we've met since then, but at the time, we just didn't have the information before us. And so we couldn't, trying to take care of the tax dollars, we didn't really have any good information to go off of, we didn't feel comfortable putting up the money when we're like, what are the numbers, what's going on? And so it was real questionable to us, all of us here. I think I'm speaking for everybody at the time. And it wasn't because we were like, let's get rid of this program altogether. Since then, we've all been able to meet, and we've gotten the numbers that we needed, and the word's gotten out. More people, because it's been in the journal, in the newspaper, more people have heard about it. And y'all are probably getting an uptick, I don't know, but we're hearing about it more too from people who didn't know about it before. We're like, wait, how do you use this? What's this bus? What's the program? And interestingly, on Tuesday, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Normally our meetings are on Monday, so I'm throwing off like crazy. Okay. So interestingly enough, I see a lot of Social Security disability clients in my law firm, and one came in the bus who said they just heard about it from seeing it in the journal. And they showed it to my office. I sat there and looked out the window, and I was like, I was like, kind of a sign, I guess you would say. But so I'm interested to see, obviously, where this is going to go as more hear about it. If this passes tonight, I'm interested to possibly get a report. It's for a year if it passes. I'm interested to get a report maybe in 6 months and see where this is going. The resolution before us doesn't list an amount. I'm personally a little uncomfortable with that, with not having an amount listed, because I don't want to vote on something and it look like it's an open-ended, it's just a blank check that we're passing. I think we need to put an amount in there. I don't know if we can do that orally, whatever, but.
I would recommend
And that was my question.
for
Was in with
20,000 and look at possibly some in-kind above that for possibly housing the bus and that kind of thing. And maybe we can get somewhere in between the 40,500 and that. Just my thoughts. I still have huge reservations on the timing of this. I feel like I'm being pushed into it, and I haven't gotten responses to my questions. I was given an email Monday, and I couldn't open it, and I sent it back to that effect, and I never got a response. So not from you, from RAPC. And I think we have a lot of great ideas out on the floor from a lot of different people, and there's room for negotiation. But if you make me vote on it tonight with a dollar amount not locked in, I'm a no. If you go for 20,000 and maybe sit down at the table and see what else we can come up with to try to fund the rest of it, I'm a maybe.
Okay. Hey, before you, Councilwoman Washington Eli, I know you had something you were going to say.
That's
I think.
what she wanted.
that was my question and stuff about it wasn't in the thing of what the dollar amount was, and I think Alex was about to say something on that behalf and stuff, what actually really would be the dollar amount on it, because it's not in the resolution for it. And I wasn't at the meeting because I had family problems and stuff. But what I do want to ask one question and stuff.
Were you speaking about, yeah, bring the microphone closer.
I really do want to ask one question, which, you know, everything's good with everybody and stuff. I'm real great that everybody's using the program and stuff. But I just have like one question. Maybe you can answer. If they going, so basically and stuff, they paying a total of $8, like they coming in to and from.
Is it $4 for a round trip?
$4 going, no, it's coming.
Or it's each way, so it's 8, you're right.
8.
If it's
That's
in the
just in the
city, it's at
city.
$8, it jumps up to 12 if they go outside the city limits.
So total of 24 going and coming.
Right.
Outside the city.
Okay. And one more question. Particularly, they decide to go to another stop. Are we gonna charge $4, or are we gonna do like a in between? How would they work?
So first of all, I'll let somebody answer the specific on that, but I will tell you before she comes up, the fares, we can adjust those based on your input. There's a lot of stuff, if you guys are going to be in control of this program if you're the first people to put up local match on it, so we want to do everything we can to make it work for you guys and for the folks that are using it. I will tell you, Mr. Nielsen, that the $20,000 is going to mean that we would have to cut the program in half from what it has been over the last year, meaning that 708 trips would get reduced to about 350. So the amount needs to be for us to continue.
3 days a week, 2 days a week, or?
What we would do is we'd put a cap on the number, as we get calls in for that day, we would cap it at the number that would keep us running for the entire year.
Right now, you're averaging 1 point something per business day.
That's 708, so yeah, about 1.8 if you're counting it down, and that's business days.
Almost 2 trips a day.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
That's
So it's not much.
It's round trips, yes, sir.
Yeah. So do I give you money to build two, or do I give you a little money and then you show me you can get there and I give you more money? I mean.
If you want to work it that way, I'll do my best to show you all the stats as we go.
That's what I've been asking.
All we have to operate off of are the stats from the previous year. We can project, all we want, which is how we even got into this in the first place, was we knew that there was a need here. But those projections aren't nearly as good as the hard stats we have over the previous year. So every year that we would come before you, we would show you the previous year's stats to show you what it would take to maintain that same level of service, minus whatever local match I can come up with elsewhere through Medicaid, the parish, and other entities. So that's kind of where we're at. So to maintain just for the city of Natchitoches at the same level, it would be $40,500. Which I pray that you would offer that as a substitute.
Your hours of operation, I was surprised. They're 8 to 1.
Come on up. That's when we take the calls, but I'll let Gracie address the fair question for Miss Eli, and then also the hours of operation.
8 to 1.
Hi, I'm Gracie Skinner. Our hours of operation, our first pickup starts at 7 a.m. and our last pickup is at 5 p.m. So we will come pick you up at your door at 7 a.m. and bring you to work. And we felt that was necessary because most people work, 8 to 4, 8 to 5. We want to be able to get them to work on time and also pick them up and have our drivers home at a reasonable hour. Our fares are based one way, so it's $4 in city, $12 out of city. We do offer half fare for senior citizens. For those that have a disability, you're also able to bring an escort with you that rides for free. Does that answer your questions, or should I?
I want to, if I can,
Yeah,
Ms. Grayson,
absolutely.
when we had met, you had mentioned that it's a possibility that we can lower the fares. I think you're saying it's $4 one way, but it's possible that we can make a decision to go down to maybe 3.
Absolutely. If it could be any fare that y'all think is fair if y'all want to. We did originally a $2 promotional, and we ended up having it for 3 months. It was originally supposed to be for a month. So if you want to base your fares one way off of $2, we can do that and still offer our half fares for senior citizens and still offer that escort to ride for free for our disabled.
So that's basically stuff stopping if they have in-between stops.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So one way, so every pickup and every drop off, that's a one-way trip. Round trips would be whatever they have that day totaled at the end.
Yeah, because that's what I was basically and stuff trying to get a good understanding on it. So they might, first of the month and stuff like that, they probably have to go to several different stops. So they'd be more as in $4, which, this people that has less money and stuff,
Right.
it'd be not affordable for it, because if you do that times week, you know, for 7 days, that's $56. That's a little bit too much and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I was just basically trying to figure out, you know, the gap point of it and stuff, of how to make it, you know, because I know gas is high, blah, 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 but the extra really tried to make it not, you know, more than saying, okay, you have to do wear and tear on your vehicle and stuff, you know, but more than how would you manage, they have to go to these different spots and stuff. So
Right.
you'll do like $1, 50 cents, 20, you know, 3 to, so.
It's all something that we can come to an agreement about. Those fares also go back into your local match for the next year, so those fares that we collect go back into the program. They're not kept for our revenue. So we don't make any profit off of the organization, the transit service at all. It goes back into Natchitoches itself. So whatever they pay is also helping your local match in a way.
That's good.
That explains, because I was wondering if we can reduce the fare, then what's the fare going to? But-
Right.
So if we reduce it, that's just a little more we got to pay next year.
Yes,
and
sir.
I see
Which
what you're saying.
we made roughly what last year on fares? 1,700? Yeah. So I think we had around 1,700 in fares collected all of last year. So it doesn't equal a lot. It doesn't really help anything. It doesn't necessarily change your local match at all. So that's why we're able to negotiate that for sure.
Can you tell me what your average number of trips is in a week in the city on that?
The question is average number of trips in a week.
Do you have that off of your head? What do we average in a day? Did we pull that number? Yeah, it's around 10 to 12 if you do it. You take off holidays, you take off weekend trips. We average around 10 to 12. I think last month I pulled the data and we had around 14 trips per day, and that was in Grant and Natchitoches. So I didn't break it down into Natchitoches itself, but that's where we were last month. Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
And just so I'm clear,
Yes, sir.
Gracie, you're taking this commitment from us to provide a local match to a funding agency? Is that what's happening? The funding agency is saying, okay, they got a commitment from Natchitoches. That's what we're doing?
Essentially, we've already signed the contract with DOTD to receive the 50% match from the state to keep running the program. What happens is if we don't get the local match, we just back out of the contract. So what happens every time that we have to bill them, we're billing them 50% less than what it's costing us to run it month to month. So we float it all for a month, sometimes up to 2. I try not to be that slow on invoicing them, but then we can only bill them for half of the operation. The other half we use out of the local matching funds.
Right.
So you're only getting 45 from the state, is what you're saying? Is that my understanding?
For what's
45?
operating in the city, the entire program is about 162,000, I think, for the entire parish. And so when we broke down the stats, you've got more riders than the parish, but you've got less trips than the parish. So you kind of, depending on how you want to slice the apple or the pie, you can go whichever way you want. We just said right down the middle because we didn't know what we were getting into to begin with. So 40,500 is the number that we're looking at to maintain the same level of service that's been provided to the city so far. And if you guys wanted to do half a year and in 6 months we come do the song and dance and show you everything we've been doing, I'll commit to that in a heartbeat. So however you guys want to work.
I think that's a good practice.
So is
too.
it even possible in y'all's funding process to, what Dale said, to reduce the amount to 20, what did you say, 20,000, I believe, or something? 20.
Yes.
20,000
Is it possible to
come
do
back in
that
6 months.
in 6 months, report back, and if you're showing we're having to turn people away, is it possible to then do the remainder
Absolutely.
of it, or is it?
And we could do it faster than that if you want to. I can come back in a quarter, whatever you guys want to do. We'll come back as often or as little as you want. So.
But here's what I say too about that, what Dale and Councilman Nielsen and Councilman Harrington are saying. It's not like if we pass this tonight, we're not writing you a check for $40,500 tomorrow. You invoice us monthly.
We could invoice you the half that's due, yes, sir.
Right. Oh, okay, well, yeah. Well, I was
But it would be monthly, yes, sir.
Yeah, it'd be a monthly thing, so it's not like we're giving the money up.
Up front.
Up front, all the way anyway.
Correct.
So I just kind of wanted to say that. We might, it might be what they're thinking anyway, in a sense.
We would happily take that, but no, we would plan on invoicing you monthly.
Right.
Okay, and this is for 1 year?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm confused by how the matching works then. If we say now, because y'all have a deadline, correct, it's coming up?
We're already in the contract, so we're going to run out of the 100% money within the next month.
I see.
And that,
I see.
at that point, we would start utilizing the new contract with DOTD and trying to find the local match.
So you
which
have
we
a
would be
contract
invoicing you guys.
up to that amount?
Yes, sir.
And so that's why if we do a lower amount, then we can go back later and go back up to that.
The
That's what you're saying?
correct. The contract I have with
understand
DOTD
that. Okay.
is maximum limitation that.
I understand.
Got it.
Okay. I was
And it
confused
also
about that.
encompasses the whole parish, which gets more complicated, but that's on us to figure that out and make sure that we're fair to you guys.
What did the parish, what'd they do? Sorry, is the parish councilman here?
We actually will be presenting to you guys at your work
Oh,
session
I see.
tomorrow
I
at
think
2
they're coming
p.m.
back.
And then I think the official vote will be on the 29th.
I see. I thought they already did. Okay.
They did, similar to you guys, they were not provided adequate
Right.
information, voted no, came back and showed them some
Came back.
information to get on the agenda and take one more swing at it.
Understood. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and one more thing to defend the council, everything that Mr. Harrington said was true. Can we have our drivers and our dispatcher show up? We have some drivers in the room, just real quick. I know you guys appreciate them, you can give them a hand if you want to.
I see Mr. Roosevelt out there.
That's right. So
Is that Mr. Roosevelt out there? One of the driver, I rode with Mr. Roosevelt from Natchitoches to Alexandria.
So I
He
wanted you
brought us
guys to
back.
know that these folks are the ones that are being bragged on. They do the job really, really well. What you saw from us was a very poor representation of what our program can be. We didn't give you good data to start with. That is not going to happen again. You'll get
Okay.
anything that you ask for, and we'll do every flip that we can to make sure that you've got adequate information to make a good business decision for the city. So don't take it out on these guys. They do the job fantastically. Administratively, it's only going to get better. Thank you.
All right, and, you know, really, for me, I'm gonna largely let the testimonies speak, but I obviously support this program for a year, for us to do this local match at the 40,500. I think, again, everybody has kind of movingly spoken today, so.
Yeah.
So at this time, we're just ready for somebody to give us a
Mayor, I want to
motion.
make a motion that, I know people going to be angry, but I want to make a motion that we go ahead and approve the 40,500, and that it be written on here, amended, it's not on this resolution 064, but I would like to amend this resolution to state the amount that the city go ahead and provide the $40,500 for 1 year.
I second.
And that they come back with stats with us.
Because as
And
we
hub
stated,
driver.
if we did the lower amount in 6 months, we could raise it. If we do the 4,500 in 6 months, the numbers are real bad, we can reduce it. Right. Goes both ways.
Yep, good point.
Good point.
All right, motion made and seconded. We've had a lot of comments. We do have one more agenda item. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
No.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right. All right, last item on the agenda is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 065 of 2024, a resolution to appoint Diane Cummins to fill the unexpired term of Jack McCain as Commissioner on the Natchitoches Airport and Advisory Commission for the City of Natchitoches. Whereas the Airport Advisory Commission shall consist of 7 members and are appointed by the mayor at his pleasure, whereas of the recommendation of Mayor Williams Jr., that Jack McCain be replaced with Diane Cummins to serve on the Airport Advisory Commission. It is further resolved that the City Council hereby confirms the said appointment. Mayor, I so move to adopt resolution number 065.
I second.
Motion made and seconded. We do appreciate Mr. Jack McCain for his many years of service on the Airport Commission, but I'm also excited to welcome on Mr. Don Cummins. Again, I didn't invite him to be here tonight, but Don Cummins, I think he rents a part of a hangar out there. I mean, Ed can speak in just a moment. He owns Air Data Solutions. We've done maybe a little business with him, but he's a pilot and all of that. So Ed, any other things about Don?
Yeah, he rents the entire hangar on the north end of the airport that used to be known as the Northwestern Hangar when they had their flight school. He does an air mapping service, and he does business in all 50 states. He is really spread out, and his business is growing fast. He started off with just one small area of the hangar, then half the hangar. Now he leases the entire hangar, and he is now leasing another hangar on the airport that's owned by a private individual. So his company's growing very fast, and he's a great tenant on the airport.
Thank you, Ed. Any comment here? All right, seeing none, Mrs. I'm sorry.
Get a second on it.
Who was the second?
The second, I think, was Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Roll call vote.
Eli?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
PT?
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, we just have some announcements that we're going to share. Again, we always encourage people to download the Go Natchitoches app to know what's going on in the city of Natchitoches. I think the folks who run that app do a really good job in updating events that they know about on there, so just get it on your phone. And then we are in hurricane season. It's going to be an active one, unfortunately. We already saw with Beryl. Everybody has people in Houston, and but we even saw some direct impact, I say, at least from the tornadoes and the rain and things that we got. So certainly download Regroup so you can get those messages about emergency preparedness and other messages that we have about road closures and bridge closures and things like that. We actually had the bridge closed on yesterday, I think. All right, this is one event that's on the app. It's taking place on tomorrow from 4 to 8, and we certainly want to support our local businesses, particularly in the area of Front Street. And so this is something they don't always do, but encouraging everybody to go out and support it. Brick Streets, Bites, and Boutiques. And I think it's going to be a great event. But there, if you look on the app, it says you have an opportunity to win a $500 gift card as well. So explore exclusive store specials, discover pop-ups, indulge in sample tastings. So I think it's going to be really good and give us an opportunity as people who live here to also patronize those Front Street businesses. So that's happening tomorrow from 4 to 8, okay? All righty. We have, all right, this is coming up this Saturday, the 7th.
Friday.
Oh, this Friday. Look, my days are messed up, huh? All right, so this is the Natchitoches Young Professionals Conference this Friday from 8 to 4. And so we're encouraging those young professionals. Again, I know Laura is 40, but I think you're welcoming anybody? Yes, sir. Yeah, anybody who wants to attend and participate. Always great sessions. And we have people who look forward to being a part of the conference every year. So certainly you can see Laura and her staff to get your tickets to attend, all right? Farmers Market, we have it this Saturday, July 13th. Again, asking that you would participate in that. Got the theme, blending your health. That's it? Okay. Dog wash and nail clipping, that's taking place also this Saturday. They have a couple other dates out there. We'll remind you of those as they come. A lot of people use this opportunity to take their dogs to get washed. So, and there's always at Tractor Supply as far as I know, and it's going to be there again. Okay. All right. Chamber Breakfast Club, quarterly member breakfast, always coming up with some helpful themes and I think things that you can use and take with you. This one that's coming up on the 17th, which is going to be next Wednesday, is navigating retail trends and opportunities in Natchitoches. So encouraging people to be a part. It's I think only $25 if you're a member, $30 if you are a non-member. All right. And then our next farmers market is going to be on the 20th, One Man's Treasure. So again, I love how they come up with the different themes. All right, we've got the Folk Festival. We had Dr. Shane here earlier. Again, this is a great event. I think everything has been spoken about it. So it's a good family event, great food, great arts and crafts. So be a part, attend. What's that? Who, Matt? Matt, you got something?
Yeah, we just have the announcement about the blood drive tomorrow. If you can, come out. We're having a Life Share Blood Center. We'll be at the event center tomorrow. We're having a blood drive for one of our linemen, Mike Lacaze. He's one of the guys that are out there in the bucket truck getting the lights back on after a storm. He is battling cancer. And Mike is also the one that has been in charge the last few years, the boots on the ground guy, getting the Christmas lights up. So we're really missing Mike. He's been out for a while. I just encourage everybody to come out if you can and donate some blood on his behalf tomorrow.
What time is that?
From 9 to 4:30 tomorrow.
Okay.
9 to 4:30 at the Natchitoches Event Center, so please do that to help Mike out. How long did you say he's been with the city, Matt? He's been with us?
9.5 years.
Mike, 9.5?
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was longer.
Me too.
Okay. So about 10 years, that's still a long time though. But 10 years, and turning your lights and everything back on, so he is definitely a hard worker. I worked with his wife for a few years, and good people. So if you can give blood, you don't mind doing it, please do so on tomorrow. Do want to say, I didn't get to get this to Steve, but our groundbreaking is next Wednesday at 11 o'clock, so we're inviting everybody to come to the plant. It's out of sight, out of mind, so I know for many people it'll be the first time, but this is the first phase of a two-phase project. This one is valued at about $9 million. We have a grant that's funding a part of it, so I want everybody to come out to that next Wednesday at 11 a.m. And then one thing we're going to announce, Chief Collins and I talked about it, we'll start doing some quarterly public safety press conferences. So we're going to have our first one on the 24th, and we'll put out the time and everything when we're going to do that, but that's going to be held quarterly. Then the last thing I wanted to say, we'll have an opportunity to say it again on the 22nd, but Public Works is gradually moving over. So on the 31st, we're going to do the grand opening for the new Public Works building, let you all see some of the great work that has happened there, and I think it's going to be a really good site for many, many years for the Public Works Department. Okay? All right, so a lot of announcements, long meeting, but really appreciate you all being here tonight. I think it was really good. All right, nothing else, council, we'll hear a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting is